What's happening, everyone? Welcome to Monday night. Sorry, Monday night's Airbrush Down and Dirty Tricks. Oops, I gotta mute my headphones because I got an echo. Just my computer was being just a little glitchy, but I was making sure everything was good. I think we are. Video quality on my end looks good. I shut off Facebook because I'm gonna try to give me 2 seconds. I'm gonna try to turn that back on and just see if I can get it to go. I'm just gonna see if I can get it They're trying. I'm going to give it 3 more seconds if it doesn't connect. Oh, if they go live, they go live. All right. Let's see. Okay. Is the sound, okay, saying it's quiet. Is it quiet just because there's a way, or is it quiet, the sound quiet? Because I can always bump that up a notch. Let's see how we got. I was far away. Give it another shot. So my internet speeds are fine. Now my computer is being slow. I was trying to get that. Okay, good. We're loud and clear now. Good. Oh, the joys of live. Quality should be good. Yeah. Give me just 2 seconds. Well, Facebook isn't working, so if anyone wants to share this over to Facebook, Facebook was not cooperating. Turn off auto update. Yeah, no, that's not the problem. I wish it was that simple. But anyway, we should be good. Welcome to Monday night's Airbrush Down Dirty Tricks, which was supposed to be Thursday, was supposed to be Friday, then the fight got in the way. And now we're here on a Monday, which we will also do an actual new feed coming this Thursday. Tonight, we're going to finish up this little beauty, which is about time. And so hopefully, we don't have any issues. Hopefully my paint is all good. It should be. I kept it all capped and covered, even though I mixed it the other night. Stirred it up. It should all be good to go. So we shall see. And so all this, I got my little rotator. So for anyone wanting to know the colors, what I've done here is I have a transparent white, I have an opaque white, and I have a fluorescent white. Okay. James Collier, thank you for popping in from Oz. We have an illustration black, we have a illustration blue, and a purple. Okay, so we're going to use those, and we're going to finish up this little beauty right here. And so we got our reference image there, we got our 2 camera shots. This is what we're working on, kids. Hope everyone had a great, night. Yeah, the Tyson fight was horrible. It was so, just, they pulled all their punches for it. It was just a money grab. The women's fight was awesome. That was a great fight. Even the one before it was great. They had some great undercard fights. The undercard fights, for once, were really the main event for me. So, do you guys reduce? Well, yeah, I reduce it for flow. It's not, you don't reduce for transparency. A lot of people try to reduce for transparency, and that's not the way to do it. You can make it more transparent, but at a certain point, you're going to get what's called binder breakdown, which means the paint will just fall apart on you, which is never good. It's not what you want. So, we tend not to do that. If I want to make a paint that's too opaque, more transparent, I will use a clear binder. So I will use like a 4004 transparent base and I'll add that to the opaque color or even the normally transparent to make it more transparent, to make it weaker, but not weaker in structure. Okay, that's kind of the key difference. Is I never want to weaken the structure of the paint, because that's where a lot of guys get delamination, because they over-reduce it so bad that there's no paint left. There's no binder anymore. It's all gone. It's all just too much water, and there's nothing to stick together. So 1-to-1 on water-based, never. Never, 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 never. It's almost, you can't really do that. It's too much. Like the normal reduction is 5 to 10%. So if you want to make it more reduced for flow, maybe go 20%, which that would be, you know, a 5-to-1, you know, 5-part paint, 1 part. You can maybe get up to like a 2-to-1 at 50%, but I wouldn't go that far. Rob Gillespie Art Studio was a little off topic. I'm going to switch to my. Let's switch back to here. Hold on. There we go. A little off topic. Let's see. Before cut and buff, Golden Mask. Okay, so when I cut and buff, the clear is going to be flat. Like no edges, no ripples for tape outs over edges or things like that. So my rounds of clear is typically 3 to 4 coats in a session of clear. So you put a coat down, you wait 15 minutes to 20 minutes depending on your clear. Put another coat, wait 15 to half an hour or so depending on the clear. Another coat, and so on and so forth. Up to 4 coats typically. That's the maximum I go. If it's flat at that point, the next morning when you check it, if it's flat and you can wet sand and buff it, I'll wet sand and buff it there. And you're done. Like a freehand job, that's typically all you need. If you have pinstriping and tape outs and edges, I always double clear. So what I'll do is I will do that 4-coat session. I will then hit it again the next day, 24 hours later or so, with 600 or 800, depending on what I want, and get it flat. Like I'll block sand on the soft block to make sure, get it flat without burning through. Once I sand it, I usually let that sit for at least half the day, or at least a few hours before I coat it again. Then I'll do another clear coat session, and I'll do anywhere from 2 to 4 coats again, with those same intervals between, and then I'll buff. That's how we do show polish. That's how we do these show paint jobs. You clear it. I always call it a pre-clear. You sand that down, which is a great time to do if you notice anything you missed, or you want to correct something. Or like if I'm going to pinstripe, that's what I pinstripe. I'll do the GraFx. I'll clear it, sand it, then I'll pinstripe, then I'll clear it again. Basically the answer is till it's flat. I never exceed 4 coats. I've gone to 5 if I had to in a pinch, but I don't really recommend it because you're stacking so much on there that the clear can be brittle. So hope that answers your question. Hey, Gary. Michael, Lindsay, everyone's in the house. Yeah, if you guys want to mention on Facebook, I tried getting Facebook to go, and it just kept... I think it was the software. My computer was being a little weird. It wasn't... like, once I started the stream, it seemed to bog the computer, but the stream is quality, so maybe some of the updates of the machines reprioritize how things are going. But I was doing a few things. I was backing up a hard drive, I was doing a few things, and the computer just might have got overtaxed, so... Rob, yeah, I hope that helped. But yeah, that's like something like this. This will be 4 coats of clear, 3 coats of clear, and I'll buff it. It'll be done. Scott, have you ever tried dimensional painting with multiple layers of clear? Like you mean so it looks 3-dimensional? Nah. A lot of times it's not done. A lot of times they do that with resin. Clear resin in between, not automotive clear. I mean, I've gotten jobs where we've put in so much clear on it. Like my original koi painting, that painting is like 32 to 40 something coats of product between candies and clear and GraFx, and I think the clear millage is probably thicker than the 040 aluminum at this point. And over the years, and so many shows it did, as it got a little scarred and scratched up, we actually scuffed it and put more coats of clear on it. So I don't even know how many coats. But I've never done like the fishbowl effect where you layer and paint. It's cool, but never done it. Yeah, I've just never done it. I was messing with some resin on one of my bases where I did the rock and gravel, and I poured like about an 1/8 inch worth of this new UV cure resin just to try it. I wanted to do like just an experiment for a water effect for a tabletop thing. And I was going to use it, then I realized, oh, I didn't paint the base, so now everything's under resin, so I can't paint it. So it was a good experiment. But yeah, all right. All right, let's get some paint loaded up in this gun. So if you remember where we were at, we did mostly white. We did mostly gray at this point. And then we brought it up to like a grayer, like a white, can't speak, a more white version of that. And now what I'm going to do is I got to carve. We're a little soft in here. So I'm debating how I want to carve that. I think I'm going to whiten it up a little bit. And then I'll put the mask back down and I'll blue this out because it's kind of soft in the nose area here. You know, if we look there, it's it's a little fuzzy in here. Yeah, I mean I'm losing that sharpness. Joe, what's going on? Okay, so I'm going to use a transparent white at this point. Because this has been sitting, I am going to use my handy dandy little strainer, and we're going to make sure we're all good because this paint was mixed up the other day. And why not be safe? I think we're good there. Yeah, if I look at my paint, I probably caught a couple little harder parts of pigment that had settled that didn't quite mix. So you can see just that little bit straining always helps. And I need my spray bottle. And we'll clean that out. We'll be good. Hope everyone had a nice weekend. Like I said in my post, I basically call it putting away summer. The summer fun is over. We had to do the old put all the furniture away and all that fun stuff. You know, all the outdoor furniture, the patio furniture. Cool. Flowing. So before I do this, I am going to get some more texture. I grabbed the micro dots from Drew Blair's set, the slightly bigger ones. Because if you see in the reference photo... Oh, shoot. Hold on. I closed my computer, so I lost my board. Yeah, my computer shut down. Luckily the feed still goes in the computer. No matter how much I try to be organized, something always fucks up. It's never... Sorry guys, please do one sec. This looks so awesome live. Fucking great. Oh, that's awesome. My MacBook won't turn on now. I think this painting is freaking cursed because I can't get this done. No, I might have just lost my MacBook, so yay for me. No, it looks like the computer is just completely zero powered because the power supply went bad. Amazing. Alright. We gotta relax and we're just gonna frickin' paint. Okay, like I said, I'm gonna use the bigger one. The bigger micro dots, which doesn't make sense, but that's what I'm doing. And we're going to add some larger skin texture, like you see in the face here. Just it basically just helps. Like when you look at this in person, you'll see all that. And you look down here, I'm going to kind of bring this down a little bit. You look in here, you can see all this texture, which I know is makeup, but I want to get it to kind of look as much like that as I can. You'll see we'll get that in there like that. Nice and kind of heavy. Needs to be a little bit whiter where the teeth are going to be. And while we're bringing this up, this is a good time. Yeah, we'll start bringing these highlights to the nose. And I want to get these kind of, you can see the wrinkles in the eyes just a little bit to create the eyelid. It's really bright under here. And really, I'm just looking at the photo reference. And you can start to see how that, that texture just really adds to it. And I'll soften it back out so it's not as like dotty looking, but and if you remember, we used fluorescent, so you can see the white doesn't do anything, but on a black light, all the lightning glows, which is going to be a really cool effect on this whole piece, which is pretty wild looking. That's going to be cool. So right now the bid on this is highest to honey, which I think was 175. And so yeah, we're going to enhance this as we get to the end, which really makes it really cool looking. I was thinking of maybe putting a little bit of the fluorescent in the eye so the eye lights up too, but we'll see. So we have that, which we can sharpen that out later. But what that means, I also have the other side, which I can carve that out a little bit better now. Especially this forehead. It's really crisp in the photo. I want to get it really crisp here as well. Yeah, that just sharpened that up just as much as I needed. And now we can get under here. Can you do that effect with the hair? Yeah, I could probably have the streak, the hair streak glow as well if I wanted to. It's just putting that in there. It's just using the fluorescent instead. Like I said, now you can see that. It's nice and crisp. I could put it here because this bulb's not doing anything. You can see it lights up there, but doesn't do it here because it's just it's an infrared or UV light. So I'm just bringing up all the brights that I see in my photo reference, because I'm going to be able to cut those back down, like the scar and everything. See how just this little brightening up of things is just starting to give me more to work with. This is what I want. I can start brightening up this hair. I'm just kind of following along. So remember, I'm on a black panel here, so I can't do the scratch boarding style. So I'm work this. This is the transparent light. So I'm going to work this in, and then I'll work a little bit more of the opaque. Hi, Steve. Thanks for popping in. We had a bit of a rough start again, but not this time. It was nothing to do with internet. My computer was being stupid. Luckily, the Black Magic can stream without a computer. I just can't use any of my sound effects and stuff. So I think we'll all manage without them. So with hair, you know, hair is just a lot of repetition. There are shortcuts you can do using like templates, and you know, I could go in with, let's see, let's try to get it here. You know, you could use like the matchmaker, and I can go, actually I'm going to do it this way so you can see it. So I could like do this section, and I could just come down like this and go. You know, but it does start to look stencily, so I don't like to use that too much. You know, you start losing that looking like hair, looks more kind of like airbrush smoke or something. We can put a tussle in Orba, but we can't get the feed not to block. Yeah, the feed's being good. The feed's great. My MacBook decided not to be charged once I got everything running. I I think it started using too much power, and the power supply I had it plugged into isn't, because I have it through like a hub, and I don't think the hub generates enough power when everything is running full, so I had to plug in the bigger power brick, like the... You know, it happens almost every time I come back from Vegas, too. You know, it's like it doesn't like flying. You know, you could be like going like this, but they start looking stringy, so I like to do them in sections. Yeah, this is the transparent white. I haven't brought the opaque white in yet. Steve, you're with BMW? Well, that was BMW, right? That looked awesome. We can put a little, like, there's so much dead space back here because the hair is pretty black, so you don't really see much going on here. So we're just going to put a little extra texture just to give it something. Then we're going to add some black. Yeah. Yes, I did try doing that. And I tried a little bit more of this, and this has helped. What I could do is use a bigger trigger finger, and I could use this, and we could put the airbrush with my... This is the finger from SEMA. So for those who didn't see that, this is how big that the trigger finger is that I won doing the finger painting competition. And I think Tank had made the original trophy that all our names get painted on. I'm not sure if he also made this, but I know this was painted by Mr. Wim, which is awesome. So... this was pretty awesome. Finding a place to put it, and I want to see if I can 3D print like a base to like mount it to hold it up. We'll figure it out, but it's pretty wild. So yes, I've heard it all. I got the finger at SEMA, got fingered at SEMA. You know, poke. I don't know. That's cool. All right. Let's see. Does this? Can I get this a little? Oops. That's not supposed to show up. There we go. Starting to get a little bit better. Yeah, SEMA was a blast this year. We had a good time. Kept really busy. Alright, so that was the transparent white. Let's put some opaque. I just want to brighten some things up. Yeah, back into the car. That's a good place. I should keep it. Alright, so now we got opaque in there. So opaque is obviously going to be a lot stronger. So I can really brighten some of these up. And then I can cut them back after with that transparent black. I just want to see what it'll do. Oh, the incident? Are we talking about the incident, Steve? Yeah, when I did not bring home the piece of plastic. I left it for Iwata, so I don't know if anyone took it. You know, when SEMA starts to end, there's so much going on, I didn't even think to grab it just to commemorate the occasion. But maybe someone saved it. We'll see. If I hear anything, I will let you all know. Let's bring this cheek up here. At this stage, I like to bring all my whites up. You can just see kind of like the frown lines barely. I'm just going to do that. And hit the edge of the lip. Really crisp. So I can cut that back. Yeah, which is why I always laugh when people are like, I always get delam when I use water base, and that usually sounds like a prep problem or something else, but I know it can happen, but it just doesn't happen very much with that stuff. Okay, I think we're good here. Alright, let's see about bringing the black in now. You know, it also sticks too. During the finger painting thing, we used Ronin's water-based. We used Ronin's water-based striping paint, like their striping and water-based enamel, whatever it was, to do the finger painting. And the first round, they didn't give us gloves, or we didn't know what they were. So we just used our fingers, and it was days of like trying to scrub that stuff off my fingernail and the skin around my finger by the time it dried on there. Like I couldn't get it out. I basically had to scrub it off with sandpaper and a Scotch-Brite in order to get it out. So that was pretty impressive too. I never messed with it, so I'm going to try that stuff as well. Rob, can I use UV-less gloss clear for my clear coat? And also... Okay, so the UV-LS clear, you can use it as an inner coat, and you can use it as a final coat. It is not automotive grade fuel safe, okay? You can use it as a finished top coat. You can actually wet sand and polish it once it's cured, at least 24 hours. Or if I think you can bake it. I think there might be a bake temperature for it. They also have a UVLS like high gloss, which is even glossier when it goes down than the normal gloss. You can wet sand and buff them. But again, it's not for a final finish automotive bumper, gas tank. It's not fuel safe. So I would not use for that. It's more of architectural finish. So like woodworking, tabletops, things like that, they're fine. Actually, they're nice on wood because it breathes really well. But it's just not automotive finish. But you can wet sand and polish it if you want. I use it as like a final top coat when I get artwork done, especially when it's getting sent to someone. And then I will give it a stand or a scuff and then go to a body shop if they're clearing it, and they can wipe it down. They're not going to mess with it, and they're not going to mess with the artwork, and they'll final clear over it. So that's kind of how I use it. So I use it as more of an inner coat. I don't really ever use it as a final clear, except on like my miniatures and my scale model work and things like that. Yeah, so that's my... Don't be sorry for the questions, man. That's half the reason we do this. No, actually, Rob, it is UV. It is a UV coating. So the UVLS, that's why it's UVLS, because it actually does have a UV to it. The Scenics version of it did not originally. That was kind of they had a version of it, and kind of where it came from was Scenics line and then UVLS. So you can use it as a final coat. This is not automotive grade. So, yep. That is the holy grail of UV clear. Water base. Yeah, the holy grail of water base is to get to like a fuel safe automotive grade type. You can make it look like it, but it's not quite there yet. I think the only types of there is when it's the automotive, like in automotive manufacturing, they've gotten some water-based clears to work fuel grade, but they're applied very different, and they're applied statically with spray, and they're baked like really. Yeah, PB doesn't matter. PBG, SAM, every paint company, they all working with the same resins that come out of like get developed. And remember, there's all different components it comes from like Dow Chemical and other places where they start to formulate this stuff. They're all doing kind of their own thing, but they all work with similar components. So the technology is almost there in certain ways. And it's there in certain applications done under certain conditions. But as far as you putting in a spray gun in your booth and spraying it, that's a few years out. But I don't have a doubt that it'll happen. I remember people saying you'd never be able to get to do artwork with the stuff, and we all know that's not true. So, I gotta clean my filter again before I put the black in. But yeah, automotive hard finish to me, yeah. A high solids urethane clear is going to be the best bet. 2K urethane clear to be technical. That's what I would use. That's what I do use. We are smart monkeys. That is true. Some smarter than others. And and it comes down to necessity. What is happening, what has been happening for years, and this is why I've adopted using a lot of water-based. And I do get in some arguments with painters I know, and guys are like, oh, never, 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 blah, 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 blah. Never happen, never happen, never happen, or I can't do it, it's crap. I've always said, stop using the word, it can't do it, it doesn't work, and change it to I can't do it, because that's really what's happening. You're not used to it, you're not used to spraying it, you're just not familiar with it. And It's kind of like, I go back to like, it's like when you hear all the old school lacquer guys, when, you know, when urethane came out. Oh, lacquer's, you know, just urethane, it peels, it won't last. You know, all that stuff was the same thing they said about water now. So, I tend not to, I tend to laugh at those guys more because I understand guys don't want to change, and change is difficult, and if it ain't broken, don't fix it. So I totally get that mentality, and I still use solvent for lots of stuff, and I'm probably about 50-50 in the shop. Yeah, Rob, no, I'm good. Did a lot of experimenting with it. Not that much of a fan. Yeah, there's always just too much drama around it. I don't want my paint line to have drama. My paint line should be about painting. I know my hair looks a little different. I liked Tamco's clear and primers back in the day when they first came out. When they got to the paints, they were okay. Their white was really chalky. It covered really well, but it was really chalky. And when you let it separate, you can see why. For solvent, I'm still a house color guy for custom. I like PPG as well. It's overpriced for what it does. Good in the collision market, but I only use PPG when the color is very specific to them. Steve, you out? Alright, man. Hey, thanks for popping in, brother. I appreciate it, as always. We'll drop my pressure down. I've been really over reducing this, trying to get it really where I want it, because I want this black just right. That's the trick at this point. Between reducer and strength is just getting it dialed into where I want it. Yeah, hit that like button, share. Like I said, definitely tell people on Facebook if they're wondering where it was. Get that scar. That scar's really deep. Do many people paint along? Now it depends which color you're buying, or if it's clear. But it's definitely not 600 American. Like everything, it depends who you buy through, especially if you're up in Canada. There's always distribution stuff and how it's getting there. If it's even allowed. Then you're not paying $600 if you order it from Coast or you order it from an actual distributor. Your local distributor will screw you all day long. I barely order it from my local ones here because it's the distributor, it's not House of Color. One of the places I buy from, I order a quart from Coast of chrome yellow, which is an expensive color, and it's like $180 from Coast. My local guy is trying to charge $270 because it's local, where I could just, and they make me wait. I can just order it and get it shipped in. So that is not a House Color thing. That is your local distributor thing. Careful with like Amazon and mail order places too, because half the time you don't know if you're really even getting the real stuff. That was a big problem a long time ago with a few online distributors that got caught putting non-House of Color in House of Color packaging. Okay, I'm just going through to loosen the hair. Yeah, see, it's just going back and forth and working the hair. Yeah, so that guy is doubling the price to you. Because the setup of that on Coast is probably, Coast, Kick and Color, almost any place you order it from, it's probably going to run you like $260 to $280 for a setup. And careful with guys. I see what a lot of guys do, and people don't catch it, is they'll say you're the clear cheap. And be like, look, the clear is really cheap. I'm not sure if Maple can get it in or not. I'm pretty sure she does. But there's always a distribution issue because they're not a mainline dealer. Yeah, this is one of those in here you can spend days in here. We're just having fun with this one. No, this is just transparent black. Do illustration black. Mixed just right. It's like a 10% reduction. Oh no, I started with a 10, and then as I went in, I'm probably about 25 or so. I'm not going to talk right here because I'm in the eye and I don't want to mess it up. Yeah, so, I mean, that's really what's happening is, you know, I don't know exactly what the setup costs right now. It might be closer to 300. I haven't ordered it in a bit. And last year I did a bunch of charity paintings for SEMA. So they thanked us by sending us a bunch of clear and some other mixes, which is always beneficial. Okay, so now what I'm going to do, no, we're not going to do that. Look at that. Before I cut the nose, I'm going to thin this paint even more because it's still pretty opaque, but I want to get all my my darks in. Yeah, I'm always leery on Amazon stuff because you never know where it's coming from. If it's legit, if it's old. So I never order from them as far as paint goes. It could have sat on a shelf getting hot and cold for a couple years. It's just not. Yeah, I try to stay away from it. Yeah, like I said, I'll usually order it through like a local distributor as much as I can. If they can't give me the price, which, you know, we have an issue here with it's not always available. And if I order from local, they order it from California distribution or Texas, and then charge me extra for shipping. They make me wait 5 days, and then charge me more per quart. So if I'm going to wait 5 days and pay shipping, I'm going to order from Coast or Hetzler's place, which is, I think, Kick and Color. No, Kick and Color was someone else. I forget what his is. But I'll order from one of those guys and wait the 5 days and pay less for the quart. It's just, you know, I don't mind buying it locally if I can get it within a day. But if I'm going to wait 4 or 5 days, I'm just going to order it from Coast. And support them. There we go, that's getting there. That's getting there. No, we haven't been doing them. Yeah, I know. And, you know, we had tech problems. We even had some problems tonight. Luckily, I think I got the internet all sorted now. Like what's wrong, and that's done. Which is funny because I swear I was just getting throttled back by my service provider because I did a bunch of updates, got things working. I tested it was okay. I did speed test and I was only getting like, I have gig speed networking here, so it should be screaming. You know what I mean? I should be getting lots. I should be getting constant high speeds. So I should be getting 900 megabytes to over a gig per second on my downloads. My upload should be around 30, 35 or so. Yeah, that's what the network's supposed to be at. And I was getting like 500 download, but I was only getting like 12 upload, which that's what I'm uploading all this video content, so that's where it's starting to bog. And so I reset everything, and I was still getting those numbers, and I call Comcast, and they're troubleshooting my network and ask me all the questions, like, yeah, I done that, yeah, I done that. And I kept using the word, I think I'm being throttled back, I think it's on your end. Oh, no, we don't do that, no, we don't do that. No, everything's good on your end, everything. They kept saying, everything's good on your end. Why don't you test it again? Everything's good on your end. Run another test. And all of a sudden, as soon as they say that, I run my test, and I'm at 950 download and 25 to 30 up. And everything's fine. So, they'll never admit it, and you can't prove it. But I think I was throttled back. Or the server I was connected to was just slow. And they fixed it, and they don't really admit to it. So, but my speeds are screaming now. See how I'm doing the hair, and I'm just using the stencils and just kind of wiggling it around, just getting that texture, because it wasn't quite black in here. And if you want to do like soft strands, you can move the stencil at the same time. Like you can actually do this and do individual hairs. But it's tricky. A little bit. Texture under that eye, because there is some there. Be very, very careful. And I want to hit a little bit of darkness in here. I'm going to bring that. Just bring that hair in a little bit. Frame that. Get under these cheekbones very slowly. See that? Just see how quick that came up? But if I overdid it, it'd be really bad. Now I gotta do under this chin line and carve it. And then when you use the stencil and come up, carve that. Yeah, see how that just carved that? Super nice. That's what I wanted. Those little bits, it's real subtle. The shading on the face. Thank you, man. It's getting there. It's getting there. And I'm gonna thin the paint some more, and I'll go in and like do right. Yeah. So if you look. So I got to get all this little texture here and here, but I don't want to do this with the black I have right now because it's pretty strong. But I want to get into that. But it's getting close. And you guys know me. I never go for like exact photorealism. There's guys that stress about that. It's never been my thing. I go for like my version of realism. So it still looks like a painting. Doesn't have to look like a photo to me. Most of my work is on, is more art related than photo perfect, and it's mainly for motorcycles and cars. So a little bit of extra pop is a good thing. Dave the Bug, thank you, sir. I don't have any audio, so I can't do any of the chimes because my computer is off. I wonder if it's charged enough to get it working again. Nope. Anyway, thank you so much for that, sir. Really appreciate it. My chair won't roll in. Yeah, like tattoo style, automotive style. That's where I like it to be. I don't try, nor have I ever claimed to be a realism painter. It's just not what I strive for. I like to get it close enough where it resembles what it's supposed to, but looks cool. Where can I get... Oh, so anywhere that sells Art Tool makes some amazing stencils, including my pocket graphics and things like that, and skulls. I like Gerald Mendez TextureFX, and that's what I've been using for the most part. I've been using these two right here. Drew Blair makes Ham Stencils is another source for them. These are Drew's micro dots. There's a couple links in the descriptions there. But yeah, if you're in the US, you can get it all through Coast. If you're in Canada, go through Maple. And they will definitely take care of you. Okay, so I thinned this down, and I added just a tinge. Everyone knows what I add a tinge of. I always add a tinge of purple to my black, because the transparent purple tends to it gives me a transparency but it still allows me to be soft. I'm just able to keep it kind of soft here. Now I can go and I can start doing little bits here and there. And I can start doing a little bit in here. That transparent to the black with that little purple tint, to me, just adds to it. Now I'm not sure if honey's on tonight. This is still... Would this be... No, it's illustration purple, the deep purple I think it was. Not magenta. Magenta's too pinky. So it lets me blend up into here too, and it kind of warms it, gives it a nice little tone. I can come up and do the mouth a little bit, and just under those lips. And there's a little bit here. just to push that under the lip. You gotta remember, I'm moving a lot faster strokes than I'm painting. I'm probably only pulling the trigger back every 5 or 6 movements. I do a lot of prep where, like right now I'm not painting, and then you hear, that's when I paint. This is a nice texture under here. Get the pores of the skin. Look, I'm going to do this cheekbone, so I'm going to prep, and then I'm going to put this on. You can see what that did. It just put a little skin texture in there. I'm going to do a little bit here. I'm going to do a little bit down here in the eye. Do that forehead. And we're almost at the tail end. And where I'll brighten up this lightning and halo layering things for final highlights, and we are going to be in good shape. Cool. So yeah, this is the transparent black, and I've weakened it more, and then I weakened it with more purple. But I over-reduced it, but not like crazily over-reduced. So now I'm going to do is what it needs. It needs a shadow. If you look right here, there's a really big shadow right here. So I'm going to hit that. The one I cut last week is gone. So we're going to cut this one up. So now I can kind of go like this. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to raise it just that gives that nice dramatic shadow here. Tone that all back out. He said, all this is black over here, but when you look at it in person, there's a lot of little stuff going on. I think it's, oh, my back went. Oh, yeah, I know about back issues, man. I'm sorry for that. That sucks. Oh yeah, cutting business cards, stencils always works. Photo paper works really good. Any of that stuff. Oh, but if Honey's not here, if Honey's around, and I think she's the high bidder unless anyone wants to bid, because we're going to wrap this up, and I got to put a pinstripe around it on the border. So I'm going to finish up the lightning. I think we're good. I think we're good. Tabletop project is coming slowly. SEMA just took so much of the time that, you know, kind of took a back seat. But I am going to get back on that this week and over the winter, over the Thanksgiving break. And I think I'll be ready to launch that right after Thanksgiving. Because before Thanksgiving, I want to try to get... talk about it now. I want to try to get another couple vector patterns out. So I have 2 in the works that I've been putting together for a while. I don't think I'm going to get both out by then, but I should be able to get 1 set. So I have a Celtic knot set, which has multiple Celtic knots and brushes, maybe some brushes in Illustrator. And then I also have engraving, like fleur-de-lis style masks ready to go, ready to cut for all different types of situations, like, you know, engraving style, like all the really intricate stuff. So if I can only get one of those, the engraved style or a Celtic knot set by Thanksgiving weekend, because I always like to release something around Black Friday for everyone. It's been a good year for you to do it prior years, and it's just a good time. Everyone can treat themselves. So if you had to do one or the other, if you could only choose one, Celtic knot or engraving, which would you want? Yes, I definitely would like to do both. I'm going to try to do both, but if I can only do one, which should I prioritize? Okay, so now what I'm going to do, I'm going to take some illustration blue. Now I'm going to take her. What I want to do, I really want to carve her out with the hard blue edge. And then we'll do that lightning. There we go. Nice and crisp. That's what I wanted right there. Vector is a plottable file to run through, you know, a plotter cutter, like to cut your own stencils. So this is all blue. I'm going to get that pretty strong. I'm going to run some purple, then I'm going to run some lightning. Yeah, that could be a cool thing to do. I could probably get it before March. What time we got? Oh, 9:30. I was originally planning on maybe just doing this short, like an hour. We'll get it purple out here. That way it's darker further away. We can do a little purple down here too. And then we'll do the lightning. Yeah, it just gave it that nice pop that it needed. I'll try to use this without. Cool. So I did, with all the technical stuff, I've done an hour tonight, and then we did about an hour and a half on it originally. Maybe a little less, but I think I was having problems that night too, so I think it was less than an hour. So this is probably like it's probably 2 hour total. If I was doing it like without talking and doing everything, I could probably get her done in an hour and a half or so of straight work. But if I was doing it for a customer on a bike, I'd probably spend a little more time on certain things. I would probably usually spend, from the time I get the photo reference set and ready, print it out, cut a few things, set it up, line it up, paint it, finish it, it's probably a 4 or 5 hour project. Like, I would probably charge about, you know, probably around 500 to put this on the side of a gas tank or something like that. Something in and around that. Like this on a gas tank with prep. If it was a black tank, prepped, artwork, cleared, polished, would probably be around 800 or so, 900. It might break 1,000 depending if there was anything needed ahead of time for like base, but all comes in time, man. So like a project like this is all just knife cut. But when you get into more advanced stuff and repetitive patterns and stars and logos, plotters are a nice thing to have. All right, so that's that. All right, so what I'm going to do first, I want to see what this looks like with the light. Yeah, I still got that nice kind of glow, which looks really cool. Like if you had a flickering light above this, you could make it look like if you put a UV strobe, it would look like lightning, which is really cool. So now just making it bright. I'm not tracing exactly over it. I'm going roughly where I've already been, but I'm kind of jittering around it. That way you can still see like layers, and I'll trace some areas. But I'm just and where they like fork, I usually do like a bright glow. And that just lets the kind of lightning like seem like it charges more. Like the plasma split. No, right now this is under bid to Honey. Has the high bid on it. The guy who bought Frank has not offered his. I don't know if he's even seen it, but because he bought Frank afterwards because he saw it, he caught the video online. It messaged me that I had wanted it. You know, I'm gonna blue that. I don't really like that. I'm going to go back and blue that out a little bit. Oh yeah, you can do a lot with it, like circuits and doing, like if I was doing a cyberpunk type of thing, which I have a cyberpunk idea I want to be doing soon. That is probably going to be for a future show. I like that. I think that's cool. We'll brighten up her forehead a little bit right there. We'll brighten up her nose. Brighten up. Really want to get the bright on those cheekbones, like they're being lit up. A little bit there. Now we're starting to get that Really nice look. So you'd be like, the light coming out of forehead, it really kind of threw it off, and I don't like it. So we're just going to go back in. We'll tone that back out. There we go. You can go back in here with a brush too and do little things. Oh yeah, some cool frames would be great for this. I need to get some frames for a bunch of my paintings. It's one thing I never really do much of, is do any great frames, and I've been meaning to get some of Dennis Mathewson's frames, because they're really cool, but just haven't done it. Now I'm going to brighten up the center of that eye just a little bit. Yeah, just to give it that little, that glint. A little too much there. A little back and forth. It would be cool to like do a standoff mount for this, and then have it backlit LED so it comes from like behind with the blue. I could definitely see that looking cool. But if you mounted an LED above it, that was set up like a UV LED, like an invisible, and then you'd get a really cool look. And that's what I'm going to try next. Let's see. So this is the UV white. You can see it lights up. So that's what we're going to mess with right now. This stuff is pretty transparent, so it doesn't really show up much, which is cool because you can play with it quite a bit. No, I did the Frank, and then someone had mentioned we should do her as well. So I figured, what the heck. So I don't even know if this is doing anything. I think it does. Yeah. So now we got that nice bright glow. I just want to add some more. Then what I might do is This is painted on a polymetal panel, so it's an aluminum panel on both sides of the PVC plastic core. Based like a dye bond. Dye bonds a lot of times have a corrugator in between. This is a solid PVC, if I remember right. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to brush paint some of this in. And see how that looks. Oh yeah, you can see it. And just give it a little. Yeah, just extra little lightening. This might even be something after I clear it. Maybe I'll go back in and do a little more. Or it's something I'm going to experiment with more in the future. Because a lot of times what happens when you clear this, the UV the reaction is less because the UV inhibitor is in the clear. So if this is going to be an indoor piece, I might use non-UV clear on it. And I'm going to put a little bit. I'm going to do the eye so it lights up. And then I'll paint over it. But I want it to, like, look at that. That's a cool effect. I like it. But I gotta tone it out now. There we go. I like that. That looks pretty cool. Yeah, just that way the eye. And then, yeah, it does block it both ways. So you do, like when you do fluorescence and you do stuff like that, once you clear it for UV, you actually lose a lot of its impact. So you can get good clears that are not UV, that are still good protectant, but it doesn't block the UV light. But you will get more fade. And then my signature will be right there. Won't even see it. This is a really good trick, guys. We've had this in the past. I learned this from Fraser. If you ever get a client that says, I don't want your signature, I don't want your logo, I don't want to see it anywhere on the bike, blah, 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 blah. Well, I sign all my work, I don't care. So what I have done in the past is bikes that are notoriously, and I know they're going to say that they painted it or not give me credit for it, I hide my signature in this. So if they ever deny that I painted it, I can be like, oh yeah, what's that? It's a really nice trick. They get so, they get a little upset over that. But so they didn't want to see my signature on the bike anywhere. All right. So I think, since this is going to Honey, there's no other bids, we are going to do a blue pinstripe around the edge. We'll do it like a bluish purple. So I'm going to do this. So do a nice, like a 1/16 inch stripe. So I'm just going to do the border, then I'll cut them, then I'll back mask it. Yep, UV paint's always good. But you can sign it and no one will ever know it's there except you. If you want to be a real, you really want to mess with someone, you can hide some really fun stuff in a painting with this stuff that only you will know is there, or unless they accidentally hit it with a UV light. Could get you in trouble if you do something really bad, so just, I didn't tell you to do that. But I know painters who have done such things. And regardless, I always sign the backside of parts too. That I always do. Okay, so now we're going to back mask this, paint it blue. I'm so bad with where I put my knives down. Yeah, it's just basically the color I'm going to do. It'll be a little bluer, but... No, I don't really do hand pin striping. I can do it when I have to. It's not my best suit. So if I'm going to do a lot of striping, I call one of my buddies in to do it. Or I just tape it. Like I said, if I have to do it by hand, I will, but I tend not to. Oops. Just be safe. We'll cover the whole thing and then we'll do a nice reveal at the end. Alright. So now what I'm going to do is, because I only have transparent blue here, so we're going to get some white down there first. Yeah, I think I'm going to do it more of a purple. Have a go, Dave. Where's my purple? I have purple. It's purple. And then this Thursday we'll do a little something new. If I can get it done time, maybe I'll do either the Celtic knots or the engraved work this coming Thursday. And then I'll have the pattern available just after that if I can get it done. I'm going to put a little UV glow right over that purple stripe. So it lights up. Now, we should get it nice, bright. Yeah, it should pop a little. Cool, let's see. Alright, we're going to pull the... Just pull on the red stripe, which is the very outer, then we'll do a nice reveal of the painting itself. Alright, ready? Let's reveal this baby. It's been weeks in the making with all the issues we had. Nice. Digging it. Get this last piece off. And there we go. That is the bride of Frankenstein with some UV glow lightning in the eye, and the pinstripe lights up. So I'm going to try to turn off a couple lights and see if we can show that a little better. I might tone down some of these. Alright, so the painting is going to go dark for a sec. Alright, so it looks like that, which looks cool on camera. And then when you UV it, I need a bigger UV light. But you gotta get a glowing pinstripe, glowing signature, the lightning is gonna glow, and her eyes will glow. So that's pretty cool. Definitely gonna mess with some UV reactive in the future. Play with it a little more, and I gotta get a better light. Look at that. Yeah, I think that's cool. So if you keep it lit like that and then you turn a regular light on, it'll get bright. I think that's it, kids. That's going to wrap up this night. I'm going to I'm going to add a little bit of accent to the stitching. I didn't do that too much, but I really wanted the eye. I wanted to mess with that, so. And that is all she wrote. Thanks, guys, for checking out this feed. Sorry it took so long to get everything right. Connections were perfect. We will get the rest of the problems figured out, but I think we got our connection speeds. Now let's just get a few other things done. And we'll be back Thursday night, 8 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. See you guys there. We'll work up something new and get ready for the holidays, because obviously I think we'll be off next week because Thanksgiving's on a Thursday, and I'm not doing a live feed on Thanksgiving. So we will do this Thursday, and then we will do some more after that and get ready for the holidays. Have an awesome weekend, guys. Thank you. Well, have an awesome week, not week.